No. Heyo, welcome to another week of the Irish Fantasy Punts. Shane, Jamie, first mistake of the night. How's everyone?
Oh, great. I'm back, guys. I hope you didn't miss me too much.
You were gone.
That's what all the comments last week said. You go in and talk.
He's our little mascot.
Shane has a mascot. Yeah, do you want to introduce your mascot, Shane?
I didn't really give him a name, but you can name him if you want.
Quackers.
He's number 58. What'd you call him? Quackers.
Quackers.
Oh, right. There we go.
Quackers' opinion of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
No, we're not doing that.
Wazy Quackers.
Okay. Oh.
Can only make so many bad jokes before we have to start talking about football. So
Well, we could have just said like the player who's the duck of the week.
But
Is it like bad thing? Yeah, but it's a bad thing, Jamie. You duck the player.
Right.
Yeah.
What like the duck, like the poor duck.
He's really gonna have to pay that bill.
Oh, and that's it, guys. Finish for tonight and see you next week.
Hey, I love how Jamie comes back and all the shit jokes come out.
Comedic appeal.
It's just gonna be all Jamie giving opinions this week. We're too tapped out from last week, having to fucking talk for hours. Like,
yeah. Lucky we even showed up this week.
Well, I don't know if my 0-3 dynasty and my 1-2 redraft is really. Should I really be giving advice? But look, we're going to give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we just have you here for comic relief.
it's not even that comic.
Yeah, it's just sad at this point. Now you've lost someone.
It's just relief more than anything. Want to talk some of these football games? Then we get through this.
Let's go.
Yes.
Dallas are in New York this week on the Thursday night football game.
No. Not that game. Yeah, move on.
Next.
I can't wait to talk about the running game in this.
Oh, I tell you, Devin Singletary, man. That's where we start, right there. Stream of the week.
Yeah, he's definitely the most enticing of the low-end running back options this week.
Oh, he's RB1. End of the week, RB1. Watch it happen.
Well, actually, there is another interesting comparison you could have here. Would you rather play Devin Singletary against Dallas on the Thursday night game or Zach Moss against Carolina on Sunday?
Oh, Zachary Moss.
Devin Singletary.
Oh, Zachary.
Both very excited over these decisions. Nice and early this week. The other side of the ball, then, we have Rico Dowdle or Zeke.
Well, you picked up Rico, Dan. You give us the spiel. You snatched him late in the week this week.
I picked him up off waivers because I literally have nothing else to play. It's not out of a want that I'm going to play Rico Dowdle this week. It's out of pure necessity.
Yeah, but I would say that there's a lot of people in fantasy football this year having that issue. We seem to have a lot of injuries to the running back position.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, would you say Rico Dowdle is the best low-end option you could kind of get at the minute?
Yeah, Jalen Warren's injured, so you can't play him. Would you play Rico Dowdle or Javonte Williams against the Jets?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Probably pick Dowdle just because it's the Giants. Like, I have a funny feeling tonight Dallas is going to be like win by like 20 points or something, and everyone's going to be like, oh, all the Cowboys fans will be back on going, oh, we're back. It was just a 2-game blip. You saw what we done against Lamar. We almost had him. That Saints game was a blip. It's like, nope. We're probably going to end up with a top 12, top 10 pick this year, guys. Just let it die.
You could spend it on a nice lineman, though. You probably need a couple of them. Well,
I just said this to Jamie before we started.
Yeah,
we need
have this
first 2 picks next year. Either they have to be interior linemen, and then after that, you can go skill position in round 2. I don't care if it's a running back or a wide receiver, but it has to be one of the 2 of them skill positions.
You're looking at Rico Dowdle in the same kind of conversation as like Bucky Irving versus Philadelphia.
That's unfair. Bucky is much better.
Moving on. CD straight in, Neighbors straight in. Any interest in any other receiving options?
I think Wandale here could be an interesting pickup. I picked him up in waivers this week. He's been going steady. Absolutely nothing fantastic, but he's definitely not hurting you. He's averaging around 9 points for the last 3 weeks. You know, much better than some of the lads donkeys I've been playing.
This is the week the 0 comes.
This is the week the 0 comes. Yeah.
But are you going to play Wandale, or is he a stash? Or are you just going to go straight in? I suppose.
No, he's a stash. I think. Like, I don't think you play. Like, to be fair, look, the Cowboys' defense is quite good. I don't think you're going to risk him here. You know, I think you're stashed him away for hopefully about easier games to come. Like,
so
yeah, it's hard.
Are you playing Wandale or Shakir?
Shakir.
Oh,
yeah. Shakir is a clear one there.
Okay.
Would you not?
Yeah, I think I prefer Shakir. I'm not happy
Baltimore,
about either of them.
I know Baltimore's been soft defensively, but they control the ball. Well, they did against Dallas. I don't know if they do it against Buffalo, but they just control the ball so well that I think Allen won't have the same time possession to use the receivers.
Well, just like Dan's running back situation, this is my wide receiver situation. So, you know.
And yet we still couldn't figure out a trade.
No.
That was always going to happen.
Jake Ferguson, I'd definitely throw him in over the medium tight ends this week. Like, I'd play him over Gesicki. I'd play him over Colby Parkinson anyway.
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson's not a bad option at tight end. He's like, Dak loves using the tight ends as well. Like, and Ferguson is good. Anytime he plays, usually he puts in a good performance. Only for the injury week 1 slowed down the production. He didn't play week 2.
Yeah, I'd even play him over Dalton Schultz this week as well. I don't really have much interest in Dalton Schultz. Probably play Jake Ferguson over pretty much everyone, bar like even the big tight ends aren't doing well.
Tight end is slow burner this year, isn't it?
It's basically just pick whichever one you want to fuck you over. That's all it is. Like,
or pick Will Dissly and be pleasantly surprised you got any points at all.
We haven't heard of Will Dissly in a while.
We mentioned him last week. He clearly weren't listening to us.
He's mentioned every week. Doesn't even have to do anything to bring his name up.
Will Dissly is the goal to tight ends. He's showing up in the Hall of Fame.
I was doing some marketing last week. That's what I was doing. I was going around the pub when Carsey being going, lads, do you want to listen to American Football Podcast?
So you've heard more people away from listening to us.
Yeah,
the Saints at Atlanta. Oh, sorry, we didn't mention Dak or Daniel Jones, but that's self-explanatory. You're playing Dak, you're not playing Jones. Well, maybe you are, but I wouldn't be doing it.
The Cowboys have given up the most rush yards this year against quarterbacks. Now, in saying that, they played against Lamar.
Daniel Jones. Derek Carr, he burned everyone who got on the bus or on the car even. Get Quackers out.
Start quacking awake.
I think it should be just used for bad jokes. Every time a bad joke appears, you put them on the screen. Like,
yeah, right, that's fair. It'll just be 90% of the show will just be Quackers on the screen. We may as well just clock out. Like, I'll just put him on a prop and leave him here.
Yeah, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. I don't think anyone's rushing back. Well, maybe you are going back to Carr. Like Atlanta's defense isn't astounding.
I
Yeah.
suppose, look, if you're stuck, maybe, but yeah, I don't think you're doing that with any great confidence at all. Like those first 2 weeks were probably just a blip, in the opposite direction. I don't think you're going to see those kind of weeks again.
I want to see another week from New Orleans before I make a shout like that. I
Well,
thought they
often
did
them
like they
as a
looked
team,
unreal 2
But I
weeks.
don't think Derek Carr is going to be that kind of bad. Like,
I have an
No,
interesting
but like,
question. Say you drafted Anthony Richardson. It's been terrible. He's playing Pittsburgh this week. Are you playing Derek Carr or Anthony Richardson?
oh, Derek Carr probably, yeah.
I don't know. I think I go with Richardson just for the upside. Like I like Derek Carr, but yeah, then again, Anthony Richardson, like if you're getting below that 20-point minimum, it's really killing you. Derek Carr's only done it once this year, like. So yeah, go on. I'll stick with Carr as well.
The starting running backs are easy enough. It's tied. Well, you got Bijan and then you have Alvin Kamara. They're straight into your lineups. Any interest if you're down at the bottom of the list looking at Algier as a spot start? Say you're smashed with injuries.
Look, you could go Algier or Williams. I think if you're really, really badly stuck, Williams did well week 1 and 2, met a good Philly front seven and didn't do anything. But like he's not going to have that same problem in Atlanta. It's a rough situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're rightly stuck if you're going down that direction. Like,
it was a mistake to even bring them up. I'll move on. Olave straight in anyway. Well, this is kind of the matchup of the third-year wide receivers that are you're not too thrilled about either of them, Drake London or Chris Olave, but you have to play the two of them.
Yeah, you do. Look, we seen it last week, Dan. How many trades came up on the screen? Every one of them were nearly London and Olave in them. Like people have gone out and got these guys. You're playing them like, and week 3 they didn't disappoint you anyway for your trades.
Yeah, they're both straight in. So then Shaheed's the actual question after the big goose egg last week. Are you going back to the well there? Even like Darnell Mooney had a big game last week. He looked interesting. He's actually had a bad few weeks here, Darnell Mooney.
He actually hasn't, no. Like, I think you go back to the web of Shaheed anyway. I do think that was a blip. I know the rule is, to get a duck egg, just get rid of him, but he was very productive, and I can't see him not being that to keep some level of productivity going. Like Mooney, I don't know. I don't think you made Mooney any very confidence, to be honest.
Would you prefer to play Shaheed or Jackson Smith and Jigba against Detroit?
Probably Shaheed.
Yeah, I'd stick with Shaheed. I'd be with Jamie there. I think he's gonna come back again this week.
Shaheed or Terry McLaurin after the big week? Terry McLaurin has Arizona.
Shaheed. Look, I like Daniels, man, but not doing this with Terry McLaurin again.
I'm probably going McLaurin there, actually.
Yeah, I think I'd lean McLaurin. I want to see this. I want to have a bit of fun with this Jaden Daniels stuff. Kyle Pitts, then he's just one of those, if you have him, you just put him in. There's you're not really pivoting off him. Cincinnati at Carolina.
Revenge for
Dalton
the Red
take a
Rifle.
bow. Bengals are done. 0-3. No point even playing the rest of the season now.
Yeah.
Burn it all down. Start again. Trade everyone.
Zach Moss is probably straight into your team though this week.
Yep. 100%. I told you about Moss. I said he'd be fine. You told me he wouldn't. I I
I didn't say he wouldn't be fine. I said he's not sexy at all.
He is not sexy whatsoever. And every time you watch him, you're like, oh God, please stop. Or sorry, please go. Please keep going. Sorry.
Oh,
Would you
that does
prefer to
not
play
sound good.
Moss or Chuba Hubbard on the other side of the ball?
I'd probably go Moss. I don't think you get much. I don't think you're going to get much more out of Hubbard. Like, despite last week, I think Brooks is back next week, is he? Or the week after, yeah.
He had like 21 carries last week, so they absolutely fed him last week. But yeah, the serial date is coming, or the expiration date.
Yeah, what did they have to activate Brooks before this week? Don't they? Before game week this week? And
he's not eligible till after week 4, but they said he's basically ready to go or something, I think. Or they said he's on a good timeline.
So I would trade Hubbard if you can now, because this is about it. Like,
nobody should be silly enough to take that trade.
Well, absolutely not. But like, try it. Just go for it.
Like, he's still going to get work. I don't think Brooks is going to come in and take over the full workload because, like, he's just back from injury. But Hubbard's, like, if we see another big 20-point week from Hubbard this week, it's probably the last one. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Jamar Chase, big week, straight back in now. You were always going to roll anyway, so there's no point discussing him too much. The receivers behind Chase are a little bit more interesting now, with T. Higgins kind of back in 90% of snaps last week. Didn't do much with it, but can you play T. Higgins this week?
Oh, I think you are. If you drafted him, you're probably still. If you haven't traded him or anything, like, you're probably staying with him now. At this point, you've held him for 2 weeks of nothing. Got a 5-point week last week. You're probably sticking with it, hoping the production just increases as the year goes on.
Would you play T. Higgins or Jameson Williams against Seattle, Jamie?
Oh, you'd probably go Jameson Williams, but I do expect Higgins to have a much bigger week this week. It did sound like they were trying to bring him back in last week, and they didn't want to give him a lot of ball. Just kind of get it back right.
This one's sick. T. Higgins or Tyreek Hill against Tennessee with a third-string quarterback. I can just see Shane's face grimacing.
I don't even want to have to make. Yeah, that's like, I feel bad for the Hill owners, man. Like, it's like you just have to catch someone off guard, try to just sneak them into a trade there and be like, "Oh, you're getting Hill. Look how much I'm offering."
Ooh, shiny.
It's like, look at this shiny thing while I stab you in the back.
Yeah, you have to go Higgins there, don't you?
Every fiber of my body says no, like, and it's just probably true, especially the opposition. Like, you're playing the Panthers. They were awful weeks 1 and 2. Yes, Andy Dalton did well, but like, we know that team is not built well. Like,
yeah,
Dalton made the best, and I mean the best, from a bad situation last week. He's a seasoned guy. Dalton's very serviceable quarterback. It'll be interesting this week. It's probably a good matchup to even watch this week, is Bengals Carolina, just to see, like, are Carolina real and are the Bengals finished?
You're probably going to bring Deontay into your starting lineups then, really, as a flex option. Like, he's probably a good shout this week.
Yeah. I was gutted I didn't get him on waivers this week. I really thought he'd fall to me with the running back injuries and Juwan Jennings having the big week. I thought he'd fall to me and he didn't, and I was disgusted over it because my wide receiver 2 position is chopped.
And you can look to Gesicki at tight end, but again, it's one of those tight ends where tight end is literally just pick any of them this year and throw them in, because they all have an equal shot at getting you a touchdown. They're all terrible.
Yeah, tight end is not a fun position this year.
No.
There's no point even like all we're doing is guessing who's going to score a touchdown. So there's no point even really getting into them too much. Well,
I thought
that's
we were
this
doing
whole
with
game
everyone.
anyway. But
Yeah, I thought that's what we were doing with everyone.
Rams at Chicago. It's
Just
not really a
one guy.
quarterback game.
Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
one person. Like, can we just talk about the one person and leave this game?
Just Kyron.
Yeah. Maybe there's a tight end here that you could talk about, but other than that,
Hogamed had a big week last week, yeah. You're probably stuck playing DJ Moore though, realistically, in this game. Like, what else are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
could you bring yourself to bench him?
stop playing.
Well, to be fair, Keenan Allen's back this week, so surely that'll give him a little bit of help. You know, he won't be targeted all the time, so he might get a bit looser.
Well, that wasn't really a problem for the Bears. The Bears' problem was they had to throw it over 40 times. They had zero run game, which just let the pass rushers pin their ears back and chase down Caleb Williams. And as we've seen from weeks 1 to 3, Caleb Williams is not exactly an accurate quarterback, which causes the wide receivers many problems.
All those targets that are going DJ Moore's way. He has 28 targets through 3 weeks.
Yeah. And about 4 of them have been catchable.
Let's put this to the test then. DJ Moore, George Pickens. George Pickens has the Colts.
Give me Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens.
Let's go Jackson Smith and Jigba against Detroit.
Yeah, give me Jack Smith and Jigba.
No, probably more.
I'm just staying away from the Bears, man.
Fair enough.
Brian Thomas Jr. at Houston.
That's a single more. It's a...
No, I still think I'm going to go with Brian Thomas. They seem to Jacksonville. He used to be the one guy there.
All right, then we don't want to talk about any receivers for the Rams. I'm not messing with that. No tight ends for the Rams.
No.
So it's just Kyron there for the Rams, and we can move on.
Yep.
Jamie's team, Minnesota at Green Bay. Jordan Love projected back for this one.
He's back, baby. He's back. Pity. Well, to be fair to Malik Willis, he was doing surprisingly very, very well. Like, wasn't he like
Yeah.
QB1 last week?
He did very well last
He
week.
was on top 5, and yeah. But yeah, Jordan Love should bring another dynamic back to this team again. Like, that should be like Reed, Dubes, Watson, all very, very streamable. You would imagine, you know. I think the problem you have on the Packers side is probably Jacobs and Wilson, because Wilson seems to be a lot better a back than people envisaged him to be, and he seems to be taking a bit off Jacobs because he looks very good. Wilson. No, I wouldn't. I'm not playing him. By God, don't play him. But they do seem to like him a lot. Like, he outscored Jacobs last week. You know.
I notice you still haven't added him to your actual team, though. He's still sitting on waivers in our league.
Absolutely not. No. I have a very small bench. It's not that deep.
Are you looking at any of the receivers then for Green Bay in this matchup?
Like Reed, Dubes, Watson, I just say put them all in. You have them play them, you know.
Jesus.
They're all good to go.
That's not. No.
I'll play Reed.
That was what it is, wasn't it? That was a bad joke, yeah.
We'll come back to this next week. We'll come back to it next week.
Oh, like, look, I would go with Reed and Dubes maybe, but like Watson's production hasn't been there at all. Even when Love was in, Watson didn't look like his favorite target.
Well, he was only in for 1 week, like, so give him a chance. Like,
I'm not
No.
playing Watson either. I'm playing Reed. I'm not playing the other two.
Yeah, like I believe more that way. You got very excited about your Packers there, buddy.
I did. Okay, Reed and Watson. I'm going to go Reed and Watson. Right.
Are you leaving out
I'll leave out
Dubes?
I'll leave out Dubes. Sorry.
Wow, bold
Right.
call.
I can't fucking win, can I?
I'm gonna have to test this Watson love though. Are you playing Christian Kirk against Houston or Watson?
I'm gonna go Oh, Watson. Yeah.
Kirk with the big week last week. He
Yeah.
repaid fantasy owners.
Calvin Ridley at Miami or Watson?
Oh, yeah.
The Watson love didn't go very far.
I'm not saying it. Plead the fifth.
Addison's limited on Wednesday. I don't really know which way that's leaning, but I'm not going to play him either way. I don't want to play
That's
an
all right.
injured receiver.
Watson's limited every week, so it's grand.
Anyone else you want to talk about here?
I go back to the Wilson point. I do think Wilson's a good pickup, like especially with the way running back injuries have been. Like we were saying earlier, it's any guy who picks up 15 points is still sitting on your waivers. Probably shouldn't still be sitting on your waivers if you've injured running backs. Take a flyer on him. Like the carries last week were 14 for Jacobs, 12 for Wilson, so he's getting to work. I don't see a problem with putting him in. That looks like it's quickly becoming a very much 1A, 1B running back situation.
Yeah.
Like it could happen that this week that Jacobs gets 90% of the carries, but I don't personally think it's going to be that. But I'm not Matt LaFleur. I don't call the plays. So for me, I'd have no problem picking him up if I had running back injuries, but I don't. So I'm okay.
Yeah.
Bloody damn, mister, I have a healthy team.
Hey, for the first time ever, man, in like 2 years in this league or 3 years in this league, I've not had any injuries yet that have killed my team. Like, and I've got highest score this week. I got overachiever this week, and I got like one other award that was good. Usually, I'm on the opposite side of them awards. I'm getting all the bad ones because I don't have a team anymore. Usually, 3 weeks into the season, I'm already waiting for next year.
While Shane continues to gush over his healthy team, we can move on to Jacksonville at Houston. It's not been great for CJ Stroud, but if you've drafted him, you're in that position now where you just have to play him. The other boy, you're not even interested in him at all, I would imagine, in this game. No love for Trevor Lawrence?
No, the Prince.
No.
Prince is shitless.
Would you prefer to play Dak against the Giants or Stroud?
Probably. Oh.
I go
Dak?
Dak. Yeah, I go Dak.
You frozen there, Jamie? It's a tough one, is it?
No, he said Dak.
I
We
said
both said
Dak.
Dak. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah.
you. Sorry.
I was
Did
like,
you not
what?
hear his dulcet tones coming over the mic?
Joe Mixon, is he back? Let's take a look at his injury. Still not practicing. So another week of Cam Akers. Cam Akers wasn't bad, in fairness, in his actual runs. Production wasn't great, but I think that's because they had to go to the passing game, didn't they?
Yeah, they were down big, sure, didn't they?
Nico Collins is an auto start, but talk me through Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell.
I would say Stephon Diggs at this point is an auto start. He had one not even fully down week, 6 points. Like in that team, that's not bad. Like there's plenty of receivers around the league doing worse for you. But like last week, when I was watching that game, like it went anytime Stroud was in like a bit of bother, he didn't go to Nico Collins. He went to Diggs for the majority of the game. And then coming towards the end of the game, Collins got more and more involved. But like the receiver that kept him in the game for the whole game was Diggs. Diggs seems to be his safety blanket this year.
100%.
I think where you're going to see struggle as a Diggs owner is going to be when Houston are up. If Houston are up and up big, and Diggs hasn't had involvement in that, getting Diggs the ball late in games that they're winning is going to be very tough for you. Like third, fourth quarter games, you're going to struggle out of Diggs then. Diggs owners need Houston to be in tight games where they're slightly behind. That's your ideal scenario as a Diggs owner.
Yeah, like you're right. Like Collins and Diggs, surely an auto start. Like are you playing Dak Dell really? Like I don't think so. Like you surely a bench. You're surely only benching them at this point.
you want to play
Yeah,
Tank
like-
Dell or Roma Dunze against the Rams?
God, I don't want to play any Bears. Like,
We've already gone through this.
yeah, like it's. I'd
Uh,
probably go Tank Dell there. Like, Roma Dunes had a good week last week. I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's a very tough one.
you probably go Dell just because Houston are just so good at throwing the ball around. You know,
Yeah, especially if Keenan Allen is back this week, it kind of takes Dunes' value down as well.
yeah.
Is Keenan Allen definitely back? I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I don't really have.
He's
I have
projected
no
to
Bear
play
stock.
anyway.
So, oh, is he?
He's mostly back.
The Jacksonville receivers then. Christian Kirk. Can you be talked into him? Brian Thomas.
I stuck with Christian Kirk on the bench. My current wide receiver 2 is Alan Lazar, projected for 4 points a week and hasn't let me down yet. Outscoring that, I might add, by a lot. But
Balls,
yeah,
I like it.
yeah, I'm staying with Christian Kirk another week on the bench. I'm not sending him to waivers yet.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be wavering him anyway, but might be thinking about playing him.
I want to see another week of Lawrence throwing him the ball consistently. I think last week Kirk's best performance. Lawrence had his most dependable target back last week with Kirk. Kirk didn't drop as many balls that came to him, and if Kirk's in that kind of form, I think it brings that extra option in the passing game is actually beneficial to the likes of Davis and Thomas because it'll open things up downfield for them with him getting it underneath.
yeah. I think you're probably playing Thomas more than Kirk at this point. I think he's not as volatile. You know, he might not get you the 15, 16 points, but he's going to consistently get you 8, 9 or something if you need that consistency just to get over the line. But I don't think you're not overly happy playing the two of them at the moment. You know, until
No,
Lawrence gets a bit better.
I might be forced into playing Brian Thomas this week if Devonta Smith doesn't go. I don't think he is going to go because they have to buy in week 5 anyway. But yeah, I think I'll be pushed into Thomas over Ridley in that decision.
Yeah, I'd go with Thomas there though. I think I would as well. I think you're getting solid production. Like high point maybe 15 points out of Thomas, low point probably around what we saw last week, 6 points. Like you're getting points. That's the main thing out of him. Like,
and Brian Thomas versus Calvin Ridley, Will Levis could just completely disappear with Calvin Ridley for you.
Oh, I'm completely expecting complete capitulation there.
I'm not really interested in playing Dalton Schultz anymore. I don't know if you two are.
No.
There's too much there. Yeah, there's too many options, especially with Diggs there as well.
Yeah, I don't think Evan Ingram's going to be a go either. So it's probably another week without Evan Ingram if you have him.
You shouldn't still have him.
Pittsburgh at Colts. Justin Fields, Anthony Richardson. Fields isn't playing bad NFL football, but he's just not really doing it for your fantasy team at the minute.
No, he's not pushing it to the limit.
If only I had my handy soundboard.
Hey, he had a 20-point week last week. Bare minimum I want to see from my quarterback is 20 points. So if you were ballsy enough to play Justin Fields last week, fair play. That 20 points is what is the minimum you need out of a quarterback to have a win in the column at the end of the week in fantasy. And he delivered that last week if you played him. So I'd have no problem going back to Fields again against the Colts. I think he might produce again, especially a Colts team that seems to want to run the ball. This could be a heavy run affair with a couple of big, deep shots down the field. Entertainment.
Anthony Richardson says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
He's a straight bench, isn't he, Jamie?
Yeah, surely at this point. But then again, he's one of these volatile quarterbacks who could easily come out and get to 25, 30 points. But do you really want to take that risk at this point of the season? I don't think so. The Steelers look very good, to be fair, too. Look very strong, right?
Anthony Richardson or MVP candidate Sam Darnold against Green Bay?
Super Sammy, bud.
Oh, super Sam.
That's the point we're at. Richardson only cost you a 5th round
What do you mean
pick as
that's the
well.
point we're at? Man's favourite in the MVP race in my head.
What's wrong with Sam Darnold? He's too class.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He's a QB4 in the year.
The
Who's
running
QB1?
backs then. Najee will just plod his way to production for you. He'll get you 11 points, and that will be that.
Yeah. Najee's
Yeah.
a very unsexy pick. He is what he is. Yeah.
Still probably better than a lot of options.
Mm.
Like
If you have
Najee,
Najee with the way the running back market has gone, you're not exactly upset.
yeah. Najee or Chuba Hubbard against Cincinnati.
Chuba Hubbard has that upside, man. I'll take Chuba Hubbard. In that
Najee
run.
has no upside or downside. It's just
Yeah, it's just boring. So like,
Najee.
take the flyer. It's more fun to take the flyer. Like if
Yeah.
you're in that situation and you're making that decision, Hubbard or Harris, things probably aren't exactly very good. Just take the run, like Joe. You could be 1-2 or 0-3. Just have a bit of fun with it.
Question from Sea Dog: do I trade Derrick Henry and Laporta for Aaron Jones, Kelsey, and Pittman? No, you don't make that trade. in my
Absolutely
opinion.
not. No.
Yeah, like Laporta and Kelsey scratch each other. Pittman, I don't want anything to do with that. He's borderline droppable, and I'd prefer to have Derrick Henry over Aaron Jones. I will say
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is doing very well, though.
He's
Yeah.
very well.
It's great when you have the two of them on your team.
George Pickens then against the Colts. Are you interested?
Yeah, man, give me Pickens. I want to reload up that again. I think Pickens has big weeks coming. I thought this was going to be a really bust out year for him in fantasy, and so far he's just been teasing me.
He's been playing well, just not exploding the way you want him to. Like, would you play Pickens or Tyreek Hill, Jamie?
Pickens, definitely. I think, well, did you watch the Dolphins last week? Like the quarterback was just horrific. I
He's not
never
even the quarterback
understand.
this week.
I never understand how these backup quarterbacks are so bad. Like it's incredible. Like how these lads are getting paid. Like
Toughest position in football to play, man. That's why the good ones get paid the big bucks.
But
That's why
you're
the
in the
serviceable ones get paid the big bucks.
but you're in the NFL. Like
Yeah,
what
but
are
like,
you
dude,
doing?
that's
Yeah,
why
no.
Trevor Lawrence got paid 50 or 55 million, and he's like at the moment in his NFL career, he's a very middle of the road starting quarterback, and he got top
100%.
dollar when he
Yeah.
hit the market. Like that's what
Yeah.
happens. That's why these backups are not as good, anywhere near as good.
I'm just not having it. Just not having it. No.
Michael Pittman, then he's a straight up bench. You've no interest in that. I don't think any of us have interest, do we?
No,
Nah.
And then Fryermuth is a name you can throw in at tight end if you're stuck. Like, but again, it's I could pick up a lad off waivers and play him over Fryermuth as well. Like I could play. You could talk me into Conklin over Fryermuth. Like they have Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could play Conklin. You could play Conklin, like, because Rogers just like loves the tight end. But yeah, like it's just such a carousel with every team at the moment, really.
Denver at the Jets. Bo Nix got a win.
Bo Nix looked outstanding in that game. It was actually very impressive. Like
You know,
if
it's for the
Caleb
Jets
Williams
defense.
had have played the way Bo Nix played last week, we would not have stopped hearing about how good Caleb Williams was all week. Like just because Bo Nix did it, nobody talked about it.
Well, all your Bo Nix love there, could it talk you into Cortland Sutton then for this week?
Yeah, like look, the Jets is going to be a tough game. I don't know what I start. Like I have Sutton on my team. He's probably not going to make it in. I'm probably going to play Lazar on the opposite side over him, which is terrible. That's how bad my wide receiver room is.
We're actually on the so Carlos Bob's question is thinking about benching Garrett Wilson for McLaurin this week. because Garrett is facing Sertan, who has shut everyone down. I think the most yards is like 24 on Sertan so far this year. Would you play McLaurin or would you play Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, you're probably shooting McLaurin there on that one. Pat Surtain has been outstanding.
Yeah,
And
McLaurin
McLaurin
is
is playing against Arizona. Yeah, I was just about to say it.
Yeah, I'm probably going to leave McLaurin there as well. George play 01. Should I start the Dallas defense today or change it for the Saints or Detroit defense? So let's see who the Saints have.
Saints of Falcons.
And
And
then the Detroit
Troy.
defense has Washington, don't they?
No, they have
Yeah.
Seattle. I'd probably go with the Saints there personally. Look, the only good thing about Dallas's defense is Devin Singletary is not exactly a fantastic running back. Dallas can't stop the run. Singletary might be able to stop Singletary. And if Daniel Jones is to pass on him, their pass defense is very good. So they can rush the quarterback, they can pick you off. So I personally have the Dallas defense and I'm sticking with them.
I would probably stick with
Saints
Dallas.
defense.
Too.
I think I'd go for the Saints purely because their defense is really good. But what were you saying there, Jamie? You're just going to stick?
I'd stick with Dallas. Yeah, like Dallas were very good first week. And the Giants are in no great shape. And it's like, as you said, Shane, they have to throw the ball. There's interceptions coming galore here tonight. Like,
Not if he throws it towards Neighbors, because Neighbors just takes everything.
Yeah.
That man could catch something that's thrown about 17 foot over his head, like.
He'd be Trevon Diggs will be on him now tonight and praying for Daniel Jones to throw something wild at him. Diggs is very good at picking people off.
Did you see the catch where Neighbors went like he high pointed it like above the defender's face mask?
Yeah,
like, wrapped his arms around.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Javonte Williams, no, thank you. Brees Hall, would you look at Braylon Allen here?
Again, yeah, the way the running backs are going this year, a guy who's getting high volume in an offense. If you're struggling, Braylon Allen's a great shout.
He's looking good. He's looking very good there. Like, you could definitely put the two of him in it. Yeah.
He's gone from being rostered in like 1% of leagues to 61% of leagues in the last 2 weeks. So people are picking him up.
It's interesting then to think, would you play Braylon Allen or would you go with the other 50-50, well, not 50-50 share? It's not 50-50 for the Jets, but 50-50 with Rachaad White, Bucky Irving.
As in, which one would you go? Like, which two?
Yeah, would you prefer to play Bucky Irving or Braylon Allen?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd probably go Irving, I'd say. Just because I don't think Rachaad White is as good as Hall. Like,
and then we had the question earlier about Garrett Wilson. Shane has talked about Lazar in a bit of detail there. He's playing Lazar over a couple of people. But Garrett Wilson is a question. Like, they seem to get one drive every match where he does okay.
Yeah. I like Garrett, like obviously, but as you said, Dan, with Surtain on him tonight, I think that's why Lazar is a fantastic play. Rodgers has already shown that he loves going to him because obviously the Green Bay days knows him very well, plug and play. And I think tonight or Sunday, when Surtain is all over the back of Will, the ball.
Anyone you want to talk about then after that, Jamie?
Not really. You could probably put in Conklin, but it's a good call on Lazard. Lazard is a good pickup if you have him. Rodgers is all but loves Lazard. Like, even these Green Bay days, absolutely adored him. So 100% I think you're right there, Shane.
Hopefully.
So then we have the Eagles at the Bucks. Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield. Like, you could get a bit of quarterback production here at Baker Mayfield if you want to roll the dice again, but you got burned a bit last week.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to start them in my dynasty. That was probably my fault. I've literally had 3 different quarterbacks this year in my dynasty.
Whoops. Yeah, he's a weekly stream if you need a weekly stream, but you're hoping you get your 20 points if you need them, and that's what it's like.
Jalen Hurts was shut down by the Saints last week. Like that game was 3 points scored until the fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
I think you can fire him back up here and not be too worried.
Yeah, if you've Hurts, you're going to play him. I don't think you have any better option really.
He has absolutely no receiving options if Devonta Smith doesn't play. Like they might just lean on Barkley is the only issue.
Yeah, like if both Brown and Smith are out, are you going to go with Jahan Dotson?
Not a hope.
I don't think I could bring myself to do that either.
I'd
I
be
think Dallas
calling
Goddard
that.
might be a great stream. He could be like stream of the week if them 2 boys are out.
Yeah,
Dallas Goddard, tight end 1 of the season.
Yeah, well, that was after last week because he was the only tight end to score like 20 points all year. Everyone else has got
All
like
you
8
have to
and 10.
do this season is score 10 points, and you will become the tight end 1 of the season.
Yeah. Like in fairness, if Kyle Pitts had have actually caught that like touchdown at the end of the Chiefs game, which was complete pass interference, he probably would be tight end 1 now. We'd be all like, "Oh, Kyle Pitts did so good. It's his breakout year."
I've been burned too many times at Pitts to ever say that. Cut to next week. Tyler Owens, hey guys, I got some receiver issues. Should I flex Wandale or go with Braylon Allen? Ooh, that's a good one. So Wandale in tonight's match against Dallas, or Braylon Allen in the match we were just talking about, the Jets against Denver.
Uh,
Uh,
I think I lean Braylon Allen.
yeah.
I think you'll get a more consistent line out of Wandale, but the Cowboys are quite good against like receivers like that. So I think this week you'll probably go Braylon Allen.
I think it's just because
Yeah.
like neighbors can take all of your production from Wandale.
Yeah, that could very easily happen this week.
Washington at Arizona, then. Just fire up everyone you have in this game, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the story with every Cardinals game all season, is just fire up every player you have for and against the Cardinals, because they can't defend and they might be able to score.
Well, Marvin Harrison might be able to score.
I don't know. Trey McBride is what, the tight end 5 on the year? Again, you have to have one good week and you become tight end high.
Yeah.
Would you play Zach Ertz, though? That's the main question here at tight end in this game.
But he's not burnt you any more than any other tight end is burnt you. So if you have him, you're going to stick with him.
I feel like we've discussed Terry McLaurin a good bit in the other matchup, so we might not really need to discuss him here. He's kind of pretty much a wide receiver 2. Robinson straight in, Daniels, you're going to play Kyler, you're going to play James Conner. You're still on Conner, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. One bad week, but he was cast the first 2 weeks.
And then the other main question, any interest in Michael Wilson or Dortch? You're just kind of all right with those?
Yeah, look, they kind of are what they are. And if you need a streamable option for a flex, you probably go Wilson. But other than that, yeah, I don't know about Dortch. I think you're really going down the line if you're looking at Dortch.
Yeah, it's the Wandale level right there. My RBs are this is Augusto Keshishian.
Well done.
I think I was okay on that one.
I think that was actually
my RBs are Hall, Kamara, ETN, Ford. My wide receivers are London, Rice, Neighbors, Godwin, and my tight end is Bowers and Goddard. That's not a bad section of tight ends to pick there.
Kind of nice. Isn't it?
I don't want ETN.
Fair
And the
enough.
team that wants him has Achan, Garrett Wilson, and Kyron. So the second part of the question, who would you recommend me to go for if I give up ETN? That's Kyron. I don't want Achan with that offense at the minute, and Garrett Wilson's
No.
not really for me.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, like you might be able to get a chan on a. I suppose is that. Yeah, no, Kyron, 100%. Kyron, go for Kyron.
We'll go through Achan in a bit more detail when we get down to that matchup, the Miami Tennessee game. But out of that, I think I prefer to have Kyron personally. I
Yeah.
have Kyron, and I was worried about him, but over those options, I think I'm going to go for Kyron.
Yeah, he's the only thing on the offense, really.
Yeah, it's good and bad that. But anyway, yeah, I think
Yeah.
Kyron is probably your option there. So the Patriots at San Francisco. It's a weird year for the 49ers, isn't it?
Isn't it? They don't look great.
No.
No. It's
Turns
like
out if you have like 105 million in cap injured, you're not the best team anymore.
amazingly so. Like, who could have seen that coming?
So, like, the main questions here are you willing to go back to Ramondre Stevenson against the San Francisco defense after he got you minus 0.7?
I think the problem there is you're definitely stuck playing him. You know, I don't think it's a point of like, you know, can you really drop him? I don't think you can drop him because you surely don't have anyone better. But like, yeah, against the Niners after last week, you really aren't happy playing him. Like,
The options you probably have at running back over Ramondre, like you say, aren't great, but say you have Achan, like straight in on Achan there over Ramondre,
Yeah.
aren't you?
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Let's go down the list here a bit. Would you prefer to play J.K. Dobbins or Ramondre? So that's Kansas City game for the Chargers.
Ooh. Yeah, probably Dobbins, I suppose. Really.
We're getting down the list here then. Tony Pollard at Miami.
Ooh. That's a tough one. Yeah, I just don't like playing running backs against the 49ers. I think you kind of have to go with whatever better option you have, really. He's not
Rico
going to do well this
Dowdle
week.
against the Giants.
Jeez, that's a line. Holy Christ. Nah, you usually go Stevenson there instead, huh?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see how far I could push that. Jordan Mason's in. Purdy had a good week. Would you be interested in Purdy, or would you prefer to play a Baker?
I think you're probably no. I think you stick with Purdy. No, I think you have Purdy. Like, there's still enough options there that he should be very fantasy relevant. For some reason, he hasn't been. You know, I think it's just Ayuk because just hasn't been Ayuk yet. But like, I suppose that's what you get when you don't really have a preseason, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the new hotness, Juwan Jennings taking all the targets.
Yeah, I'm still not buying into that. But yeah, not sure though.
You're not buying into 41 points.
That's a flash in the pan. That ain't gonna happen again. You know, like, I can't see it happening again. Just can't. Not with the likes of Ayuk and Samuel idea.
Let's put this to the test then. Are you going to play Juwan Jennings, or would you be more interested in DJ Moore against the Rams?
I'd actually go DJ Moore.
Zay Flowers against Buffalo.
Probably, yeah, Flowers, yeah.
T. Higgins against Carolina.
Yeah, we go Higgins, yeah.
Oh, very anti Jennings.
I just not, I'm not buying into this hype. Not yet. You know, I know he'll probably come back with another 35, 36 point week or something stupid like that. But I just think there's too many better receivers ahead of him.
All right, I don't think we're going to get Debo, but I do think we might get Kittle, so you can maybe look Kittle's way.
Yeah, it's Kittle back, I say.
He's so he might be back, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like like with Kittle, like if Kittle's back, that hurts Jennings again. Like,
The Browns at Vegas. Any
mm,
interest in the running
anything.
backs?
I thought there's a whole pile of interest in a lot of here, is there? If
Amari
any,
Cooper and Devontae Adams is about it.
yeah, but even that, yeah, yeah, that's probably about it. Really, you play forward. I think forward is probably still definitely flexible, but yeah, it's just a pretty matchup at all.
Yeah, like you could play Ford or Zach Charbonnet against Detroit. No Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, you go sharp now.
You play Charbonnet.
Ford or
Hi
Cam
guys.
Akers against
Sorry about
Jacksonville.
that.
Welcome back to you.
Yeah, sorry. The laptop just decided to go away. Update itself. I was like, typical.
We continued like professionals.
Yeah, I'm sure
Nobody
you did. There was no sniggering or joking or laughing at me.
Get the quackers out.
Mm.
Deshaun Watson, Gardner Minshew, neither of those are starts anyway. The running backs for Vegas, I'm not interested in either. Like that's Amir White Madison duo is not putting fear into anyone, I don't think.
Yeah,
No.
didn't you say you were really struggling at running back? So a 14-point week, a 6-point week, and an 11-point week. We talked about a running back earlier who was getting like 8 points a week, and you were like, "Oh, I could definitely play that." Like you picked up Dowdle.
Yeah, but Madison had 3 rushing attempts and 3 receptions.
And scored.
Yeah, but I'm not banking on him scoring every week.
Well, who else is going to do it for the
Madison,
Raiders? Devontae Adams is like quadruple covered. Someone has to score.
Bowers could score.
Fair.
Bowers. And to be fair, Myers hasn't been playing awfully bad. If you need a wide receiver,
Myers, yeah.
Myers, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I
Amari
thought you were on
Cooper had
about
a
Michael
massive
Mayer,
week.
the other tight end there.
Oh no, sorry.
Amari
This-
Cooper had a massive week, so you going straight back to Amari?
No, he's away from home.
I think you just won't play him anymore.
I don't know. Hang on. Let's just see. He was at home against Dallas, and he was terrible because Deshaun Watson forgot how to play football. Then Jacksonville, he should have caught like about 6 or 7 balls for touchdowns, but oh wait, he was away from home, forgot how to use his hands. And then he was at home against the Giants and figured out these hands are meant for catching things. And now he's away again. And he'll just forget again. That's how it works.
Amari Cooper or Drake London, Jamie?
There you go, Drake London.
Yeah.
Saints are at. Sorry, they're at the Saints.
Sorry, we already decided Drake London. We don't need to match
Amari
it.
Cooper or Jawan Jennings?
Give me Jawan Jennings.
Yeah, that's probably the line. We were trying to find the line where you were, Shane. I wasn't big into Juwan Jennings.
Were you not? I
No.
think this week you can play Jawan Jennings. I wouldn't say don't expect a 40-point week, but like probably expect somewhere in the region of 11 to 16 points. I think that's your range with Jawan Jennings this week. At extras class.
David Njoku is back at training, but I don't think you're playing Njoku anyway this week.
No.
Let's move away from this matchup. The Chiefs are at the Chargers.
You mean the
Can we
Cheats?
get an up?
No.
Cheats.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is a limited participant. I don't think no one was playing Herbert anyway, but it's more for the other options. Like if Herbert doesn't play, does it cap the running game as well? Because there's not as many. The defense knows they can't pass.
Yeah, they can't pretend to pass the ball if Herbert's not there.
So Dobbins is in. Either way, is he? Are you playing Dobbins if Herbert sits?
Yeah, I would anyway.
Yeah, I
Look,
think so, yeah.
they're probably going to lead on him and Gus Edwards a lot if Herbert's out. So I think Gus Edwards could be a flex option for you this week too.
Would you prefer to play Dobbins or Tony Pollard against Miami?
Tony Pollard.
I got Dobbins.
Dobbins or Chuba? Chuba have Cincinnati. Sorry, Carolina.
I go Dobbins.
Yeah.
I think Dobbins could get a heavy workload. Like as long as he holds up, he's much better back than Hubbard. I know I said Hubbard for the excitement earlier, but I can't remember who you put up against him. It was awful.
Evan Gittleman. Would you trade Jaden and Pollard for Burrow and James Conner? So is that Jaden Warren, Jaden Reed? My running backs are Brees,
Jaden Daniels.
Pollard, Jaden Daniels. Ooh, yeah. My running backs are Brees, Najee, Pollard, Chubb, Madison, and Braylon Allen. I have the second most points in my league, and I'm 0-3. Oh, that's sick.
Oh, ouch.
Then I'd say no. I'd say stick with what you have. I like Jaden Daniels. I like Pollard. Connor, I'm happy to get, but Burrow, not for me this year. No thanks, bud. You can't even pick up a water bottle. So yeah, if you have the second highest points, like you're eventually going to start coming across them wins. Like people aren't going to consistently outscore you if you're consistently scoring after 3 weeks that high. So I'd say stick with what you have.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm sure like Chubb should be back soon, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would try shop Chubb if anything. That'd be my goal. Say like, look, anyone interested? What can I get that's some way half shiny back?
I'd prefer to have Jaden Reed and Pollard over Burrow and James. Mainly because Jaden Reed is just explosive and Burrow is a pocket passer. Pocket passers don't really do much in fantasy.
Yeah, Jed Daniels, buddy.
Sorry, Jaden Reed on my mind.
There's too many of them.
JB picked them up so much earlier.
Would you play Xavier Worthy in this Kansas City Chargers game?
I am personally, since I own him, I am actually dropping him. I don't.
I'm not playing him so much that I'm dropping him.
He's going to hit the bench and not drop him. No, he's hitting the bench. I don't. You would imagine at some point you're going to get Kelsey back in the game. He's already not really getting a lot of the ball anyway. I think he's one to kind of sit and watch.
Augusto Keshishan is back again. I assume I got the name right the first time. My RBs are Hall, Kamara, ETN, Ford, and my wide receivers are London, Rice, Neighbors. Godwin, and my tight end is Bowers and Goddard. Would you trade London and ETN for Taylor? I would trade London and ETN for Taylor. What about you two? For Taylor?
Yeah, I would do that trade.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you might struggle to get that trade done. Might be the issue. Worth a shot though.
Yeah,
Lad McConkey.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Shooter, Lad McConkey or Quinton Johnson. Any interest?
Not if Herbert's out.
Yeah, 100%. If he's not playing, absolutely not. But Quinton Johnson looks like he's clear one there. So if you want to play any of them, probably Johnson.
And do you have the stones to play any of these Chiefs running backs?
No. I like
No.
you. Like, would you rather play Steele or Dowdle?
Steele, I'd imagine
Steele.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's your line.
Steele or Javonte
Dallas'
Williams?
run game is awful.
Steele or Javonte Williams?
I'd probably lean Steele.
Probably go Steele, yeah.
That's that done then. Kelsey, you just have to play him, so we're not even going to bother worrying about it.
You shouldn't, but you're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Buffalo at Baltimore. Should be a good game. We won't get to see it though because it's the Sunday night game, so as Europeans are screwed. But in fairness, it's the main marketplace, so I suppose we can give over.
Yeah.
Just watch it back Monday evening when we come home from work.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, both starts. Cook is a start. Henry is a start, so we don't need to talk about that. I don't know if I want to play anyone for Buffalo. Like Kincaid, I will play, but the receivers, like Jamie, you were talking about Shakir earlier.
Well, Shakir is not hurting you whatsoever. He's been playing really well the first 3 weeks. Like, at this point, if he hasn't earned a spot in the roster, your wide receivers are quite good. Like, surely at least you're flexing him if you haven't by now. Saying that as a man who picked him up this week and is going to flex him.
Like, would you be playing Shakir or Christian Kirk against Houston?
I'd be going Shakir.
Yeah, I'd probably lean that way as well.
Shakir or Shaheed against Atlanta?
I'd shoot Shaheed again.
Shakir. Who? Which one?
I'd go for Shaheed. I'd shoot that way.
Oh,
I just think he's had the big games. He's a big downfield threat. Shakir's consistent. I'd like to take the shot at the flyer if I'm sticking him. Well, I'm already flying at Lazard, wide receiver 2, man. So I'm just guns a blazing.
Well, Shakir is probably the number one wide receiver, and the Bills' offense is unbelievably good. Like, so
yeah, but they're not passing the ball extremely well. Like, they're running the ball.
I'm gonna put my mouth where it is. I'm gonna say, yeah, Shakir all day. Pick of the week.
Sweet.
He's going to get 0 points now.
Yeah, we've gone from playing a whole of the Packers wide receivers to now I want to play Shakir as well.
That's my whole team.
Yeah.
Chandler Cosentino. Someone dropped White for Bucky Irving, and I used my number 1 waiver claim on him. That is, was that smart or no? Also, start Ford or White PPR. It was smart. Let's face it, you got Rashad White for free. I could do with Rashad White over Rico Dowdle, but would you prefer to play Ford or White in a PPR?
Probably stick with White, would you not?
Yeah, more of a receiving threat, isn't he?
Yeah, in PPR he's able to catch more, but it is, I don't know, Ford is interesting enough as well. Like, I think I'm gonna.
Have we given up on White that much that he's a drop candidate? Like, that seems really odd to me.
Yeah, it's not a drop candidate. I think I'd lean White as well, but it's close.
I'm just nowhere near as high on White as the two of you seem to be.
I don't feel like I'm high on White. I just feel like he's tolerable. He hasn't had a great year though.
What insult that is!
He hasn't had a great like 2 years.
Yeah, to be fair, it does look like Irving's going to eventually take that over. You know, he looks like he's getting more and more ball every week. But he's still a running back one there for the time being.
Zay Flowers, he's an auto start. You're not really debating that too much. Mark Andrews is burning you left, right, and center. Yeah. Are you getting off, or are you going to keep playing him?
I personally benched him this week in our dynasty. I have Zach Ertz instead.
Good shout.
That's where we are then with Andrews.
Yeah, I went for the consistency over the volatility just because my team is in complete rebuild in Dynasty. I had the number 2 pick this year and possibly, well, Jamie's going to take number 1 pick. I possibly will have the number 2 again this year.
Tennessee at Miami. Oh, Will Levis versus, I think they picked up Tyler Huntley, didn't they?
Yes, I seen that they were bringing him in somewhere.
Oh,
yeah, they have. Yeah, Tyler Huntley is listed as the QB1 if you actually go into the team themselves.
Okay. Does that make Tyreek Hill feel any better?
No.
former Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley coming on could be a game changer.
Well, Hunt to be a better option, but like
Well, he
that's
has to be. Skylar Thompson was absolute ass.
that's what I was saying. The options aren't great. Like it's like choosing between me and Skylar Thompson. Like you obviously want to pick Skylar Thompson. That made no sense.
I think Waddle's
Yeah.
on the bench anyway.
What?
I just know where I was going with that.
Yeah. It's like, no shit, we're going to pick the professional athlete over the degenerate drunk podcaster. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know. We cut that out. Yeah. I had something in my head. That
Yeah,
just
I
didn't
know
come
what
out.
the fuck, like
I
a
just know
monkey
what I
just
was on
banging
about.
symbols
Yeah.
together is what it sounds like.
Quick.
Devon Achan, like to be honest, I think the whole Miami side of the ball, you don't really want to play any of them.
Well, you're sticking
No.
with Achan, though, aren't you? Like, he burnt you a little bit last week, like, but you're hoping that like weeks 1 and 2 production come back again, like.
Problem
Yeah.
is, the defense has realized that the quarterbacks can't throw the ball further than 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, but all it takes is one deep bomb from whoever starts quarterback, like one bomb over the top to Waddle or Hill, and that all changes. They have to give you the respect again, then, like.
Do you have faith that quarterback can do that?
Yeah, like I have faith that Tariq Hill can get open enough that it'll be an easy throw for like a bad quarterback. Like, I have faith in Hill to do that. I'm Waddle. So like, I do think Achan is playable. The other two are completely probably touchdown dependent. So I don't really want to play the wide receivers, but I have faith enough in them to scare a defense into letting Achan get back to what he's good at.
That's fair.
And then the other side of the ball, like Will Levis kind of caps the wide receivers. Like, you can play them in a pinch, though. You could play Ridley and Hopkins if you need to, but I'm avoiding it personally.
Yeah, I don't think you're playing anything there, really, are you? Even
Pollard.
something that should be a favorable enough matchup because they should have a lot more of the ball. But yeah, like other than Pollard, yeah, probably nothing.
Yeah, the only worrying thing about Pollard is that Green Bay's run defense as well was terrible the first 2 weeks, and Green Bay was the team that Pollard decided to lay an egg against. Like, so it's not exactly all hope with him at the minute. Like,
No,
it could be dangerous, but you gotta stick with him, like, don't you?
yeah, I think you do.
On the home straight, last game, Seattle at Detroit. This could be an interesting matchup. You could play a lot of weapons here.
Yeah,
You could play
you could.
like I probably lean against Charbonnet because Detroit's run defense is very, very good. So I think he'd be like, he's on the Dowdle line for me.
Ooh, that low, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not high on him at all against like, they shut James Conner down easily. Like,
Yeah, old man Connor isn't young boy Zach.
young boy Zach.
I'd be high in Charbonnet. I think Charbonnet is the one there, and Walker's not playing. 100%. I'd bounce him in.
Yeah, I would too. Just for the fact that, like, Arizona's threats are Harrison and Connor. So, like, if you can somewhat take care of Harrison downfield, you can load up against Connor. I think that's probably what happened. That's why Harrison had the game he had as well. He was seeing a lot of single coverage, and then when he was double covered, they were whatever else they were doing. He could have had a bigger game, but like, when you're not going to be able to double cover DK, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Tyler Lockett, so the running lanes are going to be there. They're so good at receiver. I think the run lanes should be there.
Makes sense. The questions then really are like, are you going back with Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith-Njigba, or are you?
I don't know. I personally have played my cards here and put Lazar in that wide receiver 2 spot. So I think that's probably the line you're looking at for me. I
Yeah.
would play Lazar over both of them this week, if I'm honest.
I think that's fair. Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't think you're going to be very high in Loch Ness, Spit and Jigba here, really. Like, Metcalf is your start, and I think that's about it.
Mm.
The other side, then Amon Ra, obviously, but then Jameson Williams, like he's a flex-worthy option. I'd play Jameson Williams over Tyreek Hill. At least I know I have upside with Jameson Williams. Like,
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's a
You can
fair
understand that
shout,
at the
yeah.
minute, yeah.
so let's find the line for you guys: Jameson Williams or George Pickens against the Colts.
I'm going with Pickens.
Probably Paul Pickens, yeah.
Williams or T Higgins against the Panthers.
I'm gonna go Higgins.
I go Williams there. That's my line right there.
Regular listener Nino Penna. Got a tough situation, boys. I'm 1 and 2, so can't afford to dig a hole deeper. But I got offered Tyreek for Godwin. Tyreek has 2
for
bad
his
matchups
Godwin.
and a bye. Yeah, so give up Godwin for Tyreek. I don't
No.
do it. Like,
No, I
like
don't think
you-
so.
yeah, you're gonna have to play Tyreek every week, and like 2 points is like within his range of outcomes for like each of those games.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not getting better for the Dolphins. Like, it's not. Don't
No.
even kid yourself. Like,
Yeah, Godwin's
Yeah.
playing out of his skin.
Yeah, but I still feel like Godwin can. Like, what's Tyreek Hill's upside? He catches like 1 bomb.
Yeah, like he's completely touchdown dependent.
Okay, appreciate that. I felt the same. Just obviously name value felt nice, but Reek will have more duds for sure. Yep, Hondo.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that. Like, you're going to see a lot of people trying to trade the shiny piece for like something really good back while they can. Like, people are really trying to get Tyreek Hill now on his name. You'll see it in like a couple of weeks. If someone wants to trade for Tyreek Hill in week 7, 8, you probably pick him up for like, would you trade week 7, 8 Jameson Williams for Tyreek Hill? I think there's Hill owners who take that trade come week 7.
Yeah.
yeah, but you'll probably cry a small bit.
Just a little. Just to update then on Sam Laporta, he missed practice on Thursday, so he's probably not a go.
Yeah, he's been disappointing this season.
Yeah,
As have
yeah.
all tight ends.
Yeah, but like Laporta drafted, what was he? He was
He was very high.
projected for round
Yeah.
2, wasn't he? I think he went
Yeah, I
round
think he
3,
went
and
there,
or
yeah.
no, he went late round 2 for us in our redraft. So
Somewhere around
like,
that,
yeah, that's just complete waste of a round 2 pick.
That brings us to the end of the show. We made
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
Hopefully, we stack up another dub when we're coming back to you next week.
Yeah, but maybe. Hopefully, we get 1 dub.
I want a chip this year, man. I have fucking 3 stud running backs and the QB 2 or 3 this year.
You got it, bud. You got it. Back
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Say goodbye, folks.
Look, guys.
See you guys.